coming. Now I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order for the Paintsville Historical Association. Appreciate everyone here tonight. We'll run through the agenda. First item on the agenda is called to order, which is done. And the next item is the roll call.
Bobby Michael.
Here.
Jerry Daniels.
Here.
Andrea Dixon.
Here.
Kate Hall.
Here.
Mike Short.
Here.
Connie Bates. Here. Shay Watkins.
Have a quorum. Okay, those of you all have already received the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting on April 16th. We read those, or I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
We have a motion to accept and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay. Financial report for April 2018.
I make a motion to approve financial report and payment of bills.
We have a motion to approve financial report, payment of bills. Have a second.
I second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. We have a second. Okay, next item on the agenda, new business, close out checking account. Josh, you got it.
We need a motion where we transfer funds to close out the old checking account, so we can, because we're just paying attention to it.
Okay.
I'm make a motion to close out the old and open the new.
All right, we have a motion to close out the old and open the new. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Got it. Okay, next item on the agenda is the amendment to the budget. Josh, that's you.
I would like to take and transfer from what Farm Field Other, what the 10,000 from Farm Field Other, and transfer that to the amphitheater. There's some things we can do in the amphitheater before the upcoming Appalachian Theater show, the Johnson Theater show. Which is something we can do. What you got? Just a cosmetic claim, all that stuff that they
I make a motion we amend the budget and transfer.
We have a motion to amend the budget. We have a second.
Second.
We have motion second. All favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Got that. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the budget for the Paintsville Lake Historical Association. This is for the 2018 to 2019. That's what you want broke down, Josh? Fiscal year. Okay.
I make a motion that we accept the Paintsville Lake Historical budget as presented.
That's the Paintsville Lake Historical. We have a second.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Let's see, let me back this up. Let's do a roll call on this, on the Paintsville Lake. Let's do a roll call vote. And we'll do the same thing with the next budget as well. My question is, we're going to give folks a chance to speak about the budget. Let me ask, does anybody want to speak about the Paintsville Lake Historical Association budget? We'll have another one when we talk about the tourism budget. Seeing none, so we'll go forward with the roll call vote.
Jerry Daniels. Andrea Dixon.
Yes.
Kate Hall.
Yes.
Mike Short.
Yes.
Connie Bates.
And I don't have a vote, so yeah. It passed, the budget for the 2018, 2019, that's passed. Next item on the agenda is the home place, Russell Hunter. Russell, you got an update?
Good update. Well, let's start back in April. Left off when we were doing our pig roast, if you can remember. And anyway, it turned out pretty good. We didn't actually have the amount of people that we wanted or needed for it, but we still ended up making a pretty fair profit on it. The expense on our pig roast, and I'd like to do this as an annual thing, we was out $836 on it, and we took in a total of $1,610, which put us at about $773 in profit. So it worked out pretty good. We still have one grant from Walmart that we haven't got yet on that. The grant would be for $250. And so far, what we've been doing is trying to keep up with the mowing. And, we've had some pretty bad weather and not a lot of help, so it's been pretty rough trying to get things done. But we've managed to get all the plowing done, taking care of all the events that we're having. And as far as the planing, we don't have a lot of planing done on the farm in our gardens and things, but that's something we're working on now.
How many events have you had this spring?
How many what?
Events have you had this spring?
I would say, let's see, are we talking events and weddings and things like that? I would say that we've already had probably 6 or 8.
Okay, so that's your weddings, schools coming in.
Well, if you count the schools coming in too, we've probably had 10 or 12
Okay.
altogether.
Do you have any weddings scheduled for this summer?
Any weddings?
Mm-hmm.
We have weddings scheduled all throughout this summer and into the fall.
Do you have a number?
Not with me, I don't.
Any other comments or?
I got a question. When I was out there on Sunday, didn't we talk about last year that you were gonna build something? Didn't we get a sound system for the amphitheater?
We've got a partial sound.
And weren't you gonna build a shelter
Yeah.
back there with that concrete slab?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that we actually haven't had the time, the labor, or the money to build at this time. But we do have a partial sound system that
Where do you store that?
it's stored right now in the amphitheater.
Where, if you don't have a building to put it in? Where do you store it if you don't have a building to put it in?
We have it stored in the amphitheater.
In the dressing rooms?
Yes, it's in one of the
Oh,
dressing
okay.
rooms.
When you say partial, how much more, what do we have to do to make it whole? What do we need?
We would probably need, I would say 3 more mics, 2 monitors, and the snake that actually runs down and puts everything, connects it. That's what we would probably need, something like that. There might be a few little odd things that we would have to have, but it's close.
Right.
Is there any grants out there for that?
I'm not for sure where we can find a grant. I've got Jeffrey Tackett working on some grants and trying to find us some things that we might be able to use for the sound system, but he's just checking at this time. So
What kind of cost are you talking about?
it's really not that much of a cost probably to finish it up. I would say that with what we have at this time, we could probably finish it up for $1,200-1,500, depending on the monitors we use. If you use power monitors, they're a little bit more expensive than the ones that you have to power up. So.
You haven't started the gardens yet?
We have started, yes,
You
we
have?
started. Yes, we have.
Where you got planted?
The only thing we have planned at this time, do have some corn and we have some beans planted at this time.
pavilions up?
No,
Not up yet?
no, there's nothing up for this time. The only thing that we have up at this time, we've got strawberries, we've got onions, and lettuce. We've got lettuce coming up. That's it.
When did you plant?
The planting that we did on the onions and things like that, we always use that for our hands-on planting with the school kids. So we did that to the school groups. The other planting, we have just done within the last week or so.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions for Russell? That's right, appreciate your report. Guess we need to go in executive session for the Paintsville Lake Historical Association in accordance to KRS 61.8101C and F.
Make that motion to my executive session.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There was no action taken. Okay. Got any comments from commissioners? No comments from commissioners. Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before you adjourn, Bobby, I've got one question for you. I thought that I was going to get a sit in on this executive session.
I didn't know you wanted to.
Well, that's one of the reasons why it was asked for. It don't do me no good to ask for executive session, because every time that I ask for executive session, Josh, it gets took off. Bobby asked for executive session.
We always have that. I don't think we can at this time, Russell. But we can certainly bring forth whatever you've got and bring it to Josh so we can address it the next time. Okay? Or even call a special session if we need to.
Well, I think that's what we need to do. We need to do a special session.
Okay.
Because there's some grievances that I have that was actually, we talked about in our last meeting, that I thought that we was going to bring up in this meeting in executive session, and I think it needs to be brought up.
Well, take that up. We'll take it under consideration. I understand what you're saying, and we will do that.
Can I take it?
Yeah, no, to adjourn. No. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Paintsville Tourism Commission regular scheduled meeting. Monday, May 1st. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Bonnie Nicole.
Here.
Jerry Daniels.
Here.
Andrea Dixon.
Here.
Frank Hall. Mike Short.
Here.
Connie Bates. Shay Watkins.
We do have a quorum, so if you take time to look at the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting on April 16th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a
I'll
second?
second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Financial report, payment of bills, April 2018.
get back some shirt gallery, with it.
Yes.
Any comments about the financial payment of bills for April 2018 for the Paintsville Tourism Commission? No, can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Second. We have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the Country Music Highway Museum. Approval of financial report and payment of bills, April 2018.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We have no old unfinished business, is that correct? Under new business, we have closed out the checking account. Same as before?
Make a motion to close out the old checking account.
We have a motion and second, close out the old checking account. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Okay. Next item on the agenda is our approval or discussion of annual calendar for the 2018-2019 budget. I want to welcome the public for coming out to this, and we're going to open this up for you to have any comments. But what I ask you to do is to keep this brief for 3 minutes for each person. Everybody gets to speak at least once. And this is not a debate, so if you have any comments, you certainly we'll welcome those comments. It's not a debate. Address all your comments to the board and not to an individual, please, if you don't mind. And after they hear your comments, then the board will consider options that they have. Their options can be to approve as presented, or they can make any adjustments that they want to make. Or they can even vote to postpone this to another month. Good thing for this, we do have this a little early this year, so it gives a little bit of flexibility. So if you need to postpone it and adjust, then you can do that. But this budget affects all of us. We wish we had lots and lots and lots of money to do everything that we requested, but we don't. But we certainly want to hear from you. So if we can do that, and if you don't mind, whoever wants to come up and give you 3 minutes, and Josh is going to be our timekeeper, so when he says time up, that means we're done.
You got 15 seconds. The ones of you I know in here, I'm so glad I'm on this one. This is a packet that, and I'm glad Bob's here, we worked on this together. When we got and talking about it, you know, Bob served on tourism for many years, and he's always been at the heart of tourism. So I just want to briefly explain to you what I brought. I've just brought you some history of what we had done when I began to keep track of our tourism, who was coming in and what bus. I don't think we have buses like that anymore. The last time I talked to Daryl, they were down quite a bit. So it's not that we can't do it, it's just that we didn't do it. And what I have here is what we call we developed our own systemic plan. And I don't know if you all have a systemic plan, but we felt that was important. And then the year that the first year I was awarded National Tourism Director, we received this. I was awarded both 05 and 06. Now, what I've shown you all is the rule that you follow as commission members. if someone is afraid they can get dismissed or make someone mad and something happens, the bylaws, or the rules, the KRS simply says that can't happen. It's supposed to be restaurant and hotels, but since we don't have an association, it's always been left up to the mayor, but we never had non-restaurants and hotels in this board. So this just goes into what you're expected to do by KRS. And you can read over that in the county. The next thing I brought you is the comprehensive economic development strategy that was developed by the Big Sandy Ad. It lists the ideas of what the ad came up with for tourism. And so they provided this on their webpage of what they found whenever they did it. The next thing I showed you was what the Kentucky Statewide Comprehensive Outdoor. This came about in 2014. I talked to Rhonda Nix today, and Rhonda told me that this came up to really talk about outdoor activities. And I said, such as, and she said, boating, horseback riding, the trails, and this is pretty much what this, if you go on the website, you'll see the whole. But I just thought the stuff that you'd be interested in. Then the requirement for use of funds. And this just tells you about whenever. Okay, I'll end quickly. This just tells you that everyone should turn in what they spent money on. I hope that you do not give 40% of the tourism budget. That's ridiculous, plus cover everything. Are you going to abstain from voting in this hall since your husband's on the?
That's not debate. No, that's not, please. Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Thank you, Nancy, for your comments. We do value that greatly. Anyone else would like to speak?
Yes. Could you tell me on the 40%, I'm a merchant, and tourism is very, very important to us merchants, and that's what the money is, it's getting people in here. Could you tell me that the money that was allocated to the, was given to the city, was it allocated for certain projects? And do we have a say, or does the community that pays into tourism tax have a say in where that money goes?
Well, it's a good question I asked, but it goes away from our rules on this. And, you know, if you got comments, the money went to the city, and the city has the discretion of where it went to. I certainly would think that would be even more appropriate for, and I may be wrong, I'm open to the board, to share with you from city council where that money went to.
Oh, so they're not required to tell you where the money's going to be spent?
It's on whatever the state says, I guess it did.
Okay.
Yes, it should.
That was just my question. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Sure. Don't start the timer yet. I want to brag on you for a minute. First, I just wanted to say thank you to you all. This year, we brought in, I think, over $12,000 in ticket sales to our 2 musicals, which meant over $6,000. We cut in checks, but Josh has worked tirelessly and endlessly for us to make sure everything was just as we needed. And then, of course, Jerry always helps take care of the kids, and except he closed his coffee shop. We're still bitter, but it's okay, we understand. But we just want to give a special thanks to Jerry and Josh for all they've done for us, because it was really, really unbelievable. I have a few things I want to read. Hopefully I can read quickly. Here we go, set my timer. All right, in 2004, Paintsville Tourism provided funds for a basketball tournament. The Johnson County schools had never received funds until that year. Johnson Central was given $4,000. The tournament brought in schools from all over the state and country. In 2005, Johnson County schools received $10,000. A written assessment of funding expenditures was completed by Mr. Whitaker. With that $10,000, Johnson Central hosted 2 academic competitions, 9 sporting games or tournaments, including volleyball, softball, baseball, basketball, and football, and the first fishing swap meet. 1 all-regional band competition. Johnson County Elementary Schools hosted a regional academic competition, fishing tournament for students and adults. These funds were used for advertising in the region, state, and national marketing to other schools, and welcome bags that included discount coupons for the local businesses. Approximately 3,000 of the people out of area or state attended and participated. The guidelines stated no concessions except for football and basketball. Those concessions supporting different clubs at the school. Coupons or other incentives were provided to those in attendance to eat at local restaurants. 2 of the area sport teams spent 2 to 3 nights at the Ramada. After the initial year, this continued through 2007, with lists of activities and number involved from our region and state was provided. From January through December of 2017, Johnson County Schools hosted over 20 events that brought in students and adults into our county. Other than football and basketball events, no concessions. All ate at local restaurants. If at an elementary no food was prepared, it is our assumption that students and adults ate before leaving Paintsville. School activities are tourism. The goal of eating at local restaurants or staying in Paintsville Hotel is met 90% of the time. The other 10% is school concessions. The school has never surveyed how many ate locally before a game. Let's see here. Our drama team is bringing in people from all over the region and state, some from out of state as well. We've had at least 6 states represented. With proper funding, we could do widespread advertising. This would benefit not only the drama department, but also the local restaurants. Thanks to the donation from Chris Stapleton, our band could do much more. If funding was available, as it was in the past, they could bring students and adults into the area through band competitions and concerts. The Johnson County Schools have been known for international and academic competitions. With additional funding, they could do more competitions. They may use the funding to bring in an international speaker and invite academic teams from all over the region and state to attend. And how many? 15. Okay, I could go on with more, but with the limited time, I cannot. I will share with you a copy of this. I hope you vote to not give the city of Paintsville 40% of the tourism funds. Tourism already covers so many city expenses. The additional 40% should be used for tourism.
Thank you, Emily, for your Thank you, Emily, for your
You're very welcome.
Anyone else would like to make a comment?
Yes, Mr. Boone.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boone.
Yes, sir.
City Hall is always open, and anytime anybody wants to come down and talk about finances, feel free to do so. Thank you.
Mayor. Bob, do you want to make a comment?
Yes, a couple comments, a couple of questions don't have to be answered. Who oversees the tourism funds? 100%. One question. 2 questions. Second question, who's the watchdog agency of the tourism group? Is it the councilmen, council people, or has anybody intervened with the state and asked them to come in and see if we're obligating ourselves to all the guidelines as they should be? And the 40% to the city is a bit much without explanation. It's quite a bit really. With the experience I've had with tourism over the years, it's well out of the guidelines of what tourism was meant to be and when this agency was set up. And I would really question as to what guidelines are not being met to make this a better group. And also to see what guidelines are being met. There are some black eyes, maybe with a few, but those few matter. You can't please everybody, I understand that. But the 40% to the city with no explanation, no reasoning, to me is in many ways as being irresponsible and stewards of people's money that contributed to that tax. I was part of this group for over 20 years until I was asked to leave, and I was told directly that people like me don't need to be on this board. And I was told that I should never come back to a tourism meeting as long as a certain person was mayor. It was not Mayor Runyon, by no means. I was also told that this town would be a better place with fence around it, people like me out of this town. So therefore, I've not been part of tourism. Disappointed that I have not been, but it was a choice that I think was made by tourism and people with tourism at the time and the leaders that were elected at that time. But I'm very disappointed to see that this type of action is taking place with the funding of tourism for unknown reasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And I do apologize whatever happened in the past, and I certainly hope that we can have a much more open process here now to welcome everybody. This is not my money. This is your money. It's not the board's money. So.
He's a merchant like me. Tourism and bringing people in is what affects his business as well.
And I do appreciate your comments very much so, Bob. And Emily, I appreciate yours as well. Inez and Nancy, I appreciate yours. Anyone else would like to make any comments? we're gonna get, Kay, are you gonna explain the budget? You was on the budget committee, you're gonna explain the budget, the percentages, or is Josh gonna do that? We have now, again, let me reemphasize to the board, we talked about this quite some time, that everything we do needs to go with our mission. And the mission of serving tourism. So, it doesn't mean if you pass the budget tonight, that's wonderful. If you don't, that's also okay. If you decide to postpone, that's, it gives us time to work on. We have time. And so it's up to you, the board. I'll also remind the audience that we will call a roll call vote on this. I do not have a vote on this. I'm certainly trying to direct it, but I appreciate everybody's comments. And hopefully that helps the board guide their thoughts and their voting process. So, Josh or Kay, you want to explain that?
I won't go down every line item. I sent it electronically to you all a week ago. The first pie chart you should see is the income portion. It is pretty self-explanatory with the restaurant hotel tax, matching funds, city theater, and other items of income. Any questions on that?
Is this available to anyone? Anybody want to see it?
Next pie chart is the expense side. Like I said, it's not every line item, but it's the biggest. You can see things like the audit so far, wages, salaries, memberships, maintenance, special events, sponsorships, city theater, Saffron House, tax portion back to the city, utilities, all those types of things. That's the majority. The income and expense pie charts both balance out. Any questions on the expense side?
For the audience, will you give them the percentages for each of those categories?
On the expense side?
Yes.
Wages, benefits, payroll expenses, 32%, memberships, 0%, office, 6%, promotion, 10%, maintenance and repairs, 1%, special events, 1%, sponsorships, 4%, tax refund of the city, 38%, city theater, 4%, Saffron House, 2%, train, 0%, utilities, 2%, audit and auto, 0%, security monitor, 0%.
Now, included in this, which it should be, when the city manages our money, so there's an administrative charge to this too, is there? Mayor, Josh, I'm thinking.
We pay a tax admin fee because the city takes care of collecting it for its processing and all that.
And where is that in here?
I'm not sure which category, but it's 1.5% of the restaurant, hotel, transit tax.
And that seems, you gotta have that, because they're management employees. It's not broken out, that's what
It should be, it's included in the office expense.
It's included in the office expense? Okay. So instead of 6% for net.
Well, office includes, our insurance, postage, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Any comments from the members of the board?
And the SIP and the staff house, that's just Paintsville for the year, right?
For the
No,
most part.
Talk about expenses, is that something that might come?
We have 2,500 budget for maintenance, utilities, special events, but the majority of it is bank payment, the utilities, maintenance for both places. Any questions about the tourism portion?
Comments? Adjustments? What's the will of the board?
I'll read the percentages real quick.
Yes, please.
Front porch pickings 35%, gift shops 21%, rentals 30%, admission 12%, donations 0%, events is 2%. And income and expenses both counts out as well. Any questions on the income portion for the museum? The expense pie chart for the museum, gift shop 15%, landscaping 1%, maintenance and repairs 16%, office 6%, promotion advertising 2%, special events 13%, tax 1%, utilities 31%, bank charge 1%, contract labor 1%, equipment 2%, exhibits 1%, security monitoring, fire alarm monitoring 1%, front porch picking 9%. Any questions on the percentages for the expense side?
Is there any adjustments that you all want to make now? Hearing none, is there anybody who wants to make a motion to either one or two things? Either approve as presented or vote to postpone and have a committee to review hearing from the community? We could have if you hear some things from the community that you want to look at, then you can vote to postpone this budget approval to either a special call meeting or a regular meeting, which is June. Still gives us time, right? And give you time to take in some of the comments that were addressed by the community members tonight. And we'll have a roll call vote. Anyway. Somebody has to make a motion to do one of the two. What happened? Just tell me.
Move on.
Just move on. No action taken?
Is there any mandatory action?
I don't think it's mandatory.
If you don't get a motion either way, then move on to the next item.
Okay. Then what I'll ask to convene a new committee. I'll ask Andrea, Connie, and I can be on this committee to review and come back before the next meeting. Okay, you all do that. And look at this budget and see if you have any adjustments that need to be made. Okay. That's all, Wes? Oh, thank you. That's good. We will, how about the, so I appointed this committee to come back and look at this. But we do need a motion, thanks, Lynette, for the museum, for the budget. Are you okay with the budget for the museum, or do you want to do it the same way? You already approved the mountain homelands. We have a motion to approve the museum as presented. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second, okay. Roll call vote.
Jerry Daniel?
Yes.
Andrea Dixon?
Just for the music.
Kate Hall? Yes. Mike Short? Yes. Connie Bates?
All right. So to recap, you're all going to be about the budget, tourism budget. Come back next week. All right. Next item on the agenda. It's the director's report. Yes, Josh.
Okay. Recap since last board meeting, we've had several events at the SIP. Just to name a few, WR Castle's band, Paintsville Band. We We've had matinee movies, Little Mermaid, Seussical Junior, Wicked Beast and Friends. Just a rough, we made a little over $5,000 last month at the SIP. So that's good. Dinner Club is still going on here at the museum, second Friday of every month. We will be changing the time in June to accommodate people to have time to get off work and go home and get ready and then come back. This past week I attended KEHA in Louisville, which is the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association. It was very successful. I've had 3 different groups reach out to me about wanting to come for the sample travel package that I put together for Thursday night through Sunday morning. So that's exciting. Working on more events this summer to have in the area. We plan on doing Picnic on Paint again, which will be at the end of July to do our summer concert downtown. We were able so far to get a sponsor for that to cover the cost of the band, which was Community Trust Bank. This past week also, I attended a marketing media workshop through the Chamber of Commerce, which I learned some techniques in promoting tourism, some tips in advertising for social media, because as we all know, social media seems to be the thing. Spring Fling was a success. We had a good weekend. A rough good estimate is tourism made about $1,700 a weekend of Spring Fling between everything going on, movies, concert, everything we had. So I worked really well with Main Street as well, and I thought it was a very successful event. In the back of your pile of papers, and I laid some of these out on the table for everybody, I wanted to share some statistics from 2017 on what tourism does, the economic impact for Johnson County. 2017 tourist activity in Johnson County generated $32,779,250 in direct tourist spending, produced $11,358,783 in worker income, created $693,972 in local tax revenue, created $4,700,771 in state revenue, supported 381 jobs, and in 2017, tourist spending increased by 7% over 2016. On an average day in 2017 in Johnson County, tourists spent an average of $89,806, generated $14,780 in combined state and local tax revenue, created $1,901 in local tax revenue, created $12,879 in state tax revenue, and generated $31,120 in worker paychecks. 5-year trend in direct tourist spending, 2013, it was at $28,043,334. 2014, we were at $28,211,594. In 15, $29,547,984. In 2016, $30,634,813. And for last year, in 2017, it was $32,779,250. So we've been on a growing trend the past 5 years. And then also a added note, as a result of taxes generated by tourist spending in Johnson County, in 2017, each of the 9,035 residents in Johnson County households paid $597 less in local and state taxes. In other words, if tourism did not exist, each household would have paid $597 more in state and local taxes in 2017 to replace the taxes generated by tourist spending. So that was some of the economic impact I've got back from the state that I wanted to be able to share with everybody.
Thank you. Good report.
Any questions for me?
Do we have anybody participating in the 23 yard sale thing?
We've had a few people call.
That's this weekend, right?
Yes, it's this weekend coming up. It starts Thursday, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For all the Eastern takers that like yard sale.
Come on up. Any comments, questions for Josh on his report? Thank you, Josh, for the report. The next thing we got on the agenda, we need to go in executive session. Again, pursuant to KRS 61.810, 1C and F. Need a motion to go in executive session. Motion, second. Second. We have motion, second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Okay, excuse us one more time, folks. Please. Entertain a motion to come back out of executive session. We have a motion to come back out, second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Okay. All right, do we have any comments from the commissioners? Oh, sorry about that. Thank you all. There was no action taken during executive session. Okay. Now, thank you. Now do we have any comments from the commission? I just want to thank you all again for coming out. I know some of them had to leave, and I understand that. I do truly appreciate your time, your comments.
Did I just make one comment? I didn't want that to be an attack on you all. I just have a lot of people that was asking me. I appreciate all that you do, but I have so many people came and asked me, did they earmark that money for certain projects? And that's just a question. It wasn't an attack by any means.
Well, and trust me, we appreciate your comments, and thank you for that. We're individuals too. We're all
I know, it's hard.
and we love
Sometimes
this
it seems like
community.
an attack when you're asking questions, and it was not at all intended.
But trust me, your comments mean a lot, because, you know, they're going to reconvene, they're going to look at it and see what we've got. We're grateful. We thank the press for being here as well tonight. Thank you. Because like I said, we're all in this boat together, folks. We appreciate you very much.
Will we know when the meeting is scheduled again and discuss this?
If we call a special call meeting, we have to give time, just like the press and anything else, to do that, Nancy. It's a good question. If not, it may be the next regular board meeting, which will be in June, and we'll address it then. You know, feel like we need to have a special call meeting just to deal with that budget. We'll do that, and we'll make it public. We'll let the press know, and that's the only way I know how to do that. I don't want any hidden, you know, and we're not, any hidden agendas. We don't want anything put through the garbage wheel. Like we've seen things happen before and stuff like that beyond us. This is that's a side note, Frankfurt joke, but anyway, we do appreciate you very much, and appreciate everybody being here. And I've probably talked too long. Any other questions? Any comments from the commission? Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. We're done.